Today, this peaceful field near the small village of Bouvines shows no signs of its violent past. But in 1214, it was the site of a major event, a clash that changed the map of medieval Europe. What happened here was not just a small fight. It was a battle that brought down empires, strengthened kings, and shaped the future of the world. To grasp the great importance of Bouvines, we need to go back to the late 12th century. England's King John, struggling after losing Normandy to Philip II of France in 1204, aimed to regain his father's broken Angevin empire. However, John's ambitions were hindered by his own problems: a troubled relationship with his barons, limited finances, and a growing reputation for being untrustworthy and deceitful. Meanwhile, Philip II of France, known in history as Philip Augustus, took advantage of the situation. With Normandy under his control and his power growing, Philip sought to strengthen his rule over northern France and prevent any alliances that could threaten his reign. The stage was set for conflict. John formed an alliance with Otto IV, the troubled Holy Roman Emperor, along with Ferrand, Count of Flanders, and Renaud, Count of Boulogne, strong rivals to Philip. Their plan? A pincer movement. While John advanced from Aquitaine in the south, Otto's coalition gathered in Flanders in the north, ready to strike deep into Philip's territory. Yet even the best plans can fall apart. King John's southern campaign collapsed after his defeat at La Roche-aux-Moines, leaving Otto and the northern coalition vulnerable. Philip, always the strategist, shifted his focus north and got ready to confront this remaining threat directly. On July 27, 1214, the two armies met near the village of Bouvines. Philip's forces were outnumbered, about 9,000 compared to the coalition's 11,000, but they were experienced, well-trained, and led by a king who knew how to command on the battlefield. The battle started with fierce fighting. On the left flank, French knights, dressed in steel and filled with rage, overpowered the forces from Flanders. In the center, the fighting was brutal. Philip himself was thrown from his horse and nearly captured, with his crown falling to the ground. But this was no king who would yield. Philip rallied his men and led them into the fray. Waiting in the background, Otto IV commanded a group of allies whose unity was weakened by distrust and differing goals. Meanwhile, on the coalition's right flank, disagreements were starting to have a negative impact. The death of Otto's standard-bearer, a symbol of his authority, threw his forces into panic. Seeing the chaos, Otto withdrew from the field. His retreat proved fatal for the coalition. The French seized the moment, unleashing a devastating cavalry charge. The coalition's army fragmented, their lines collapsing like sand under the tide. By day's end, the French had achieved a resounding victory. Ferrand of Flanders and Renaud of Boulogne were captured, the latter dragged from his horse in defiance before facing imprisonment for life. Otto IV's ignominious flight marked the unraveling of his political fortunes, paving the way for Frederick II to ascend as Holy Roman Emperor. For King John, the defeat was catastrophic. Forced to abandon his campaign, he returned to England in disgrace. Within a year, his weakened authority would collapse under the weight of rebellion, leading to an event etched into history, the sealing of the Magna Carta. For France, Bouvines was transformative. Philip Augustus emerged as a supreme monarch, the unifier of northern France and the architect of a centralized kingdom. His triumph symbolized not just military might, but the dawn of a stronger, more unified Capetian dynasty. Bouvines wasn't just a battle. It was a pivot point in the history of Europe, a moment when the old feudal order began to give way to centralized states. The empire of Otto IV crumbled, England's monarchy was humbled, and France took its first steps toward true nationhood. The Battle of Bouvines reminds us of the immense power a single day can wield in shaping history. A king's triumph, an emperor's downfall, and a baron's rebellion, all threads of a tapestry woven on July 27, 1214. In victory and defeat, Bouvines set the stage for a new Europe, one defined by emerging nations and enduring legacies. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this.